Hello and welcome to the episode 2 of Quadra Plus exclusive. Certified to Succeed. Episode 3: Why Employers Need Certified Teams. 1. Introduction: The business case for certification. Welcome to episode 3 of Certified to Succeed, brought to you by Quadra Plus exclusive. If you've been following our series, you already know how we feel about certification. It's more than just a badge or a printed document. It's a symbol of verified skill, personal discipline, and professional credibility. In episode 2, we focused on the individual. We explored why professionals should invest in certification to gain a competitive edge, prove their value, and create new opportunities. But now we shift the lens. Because behind every successful professional is an organization, a company, a team, a department that either invested in them or passed them by. And in this rapidly changing business landscape, those decisions matter more than ever. This episode is not just for professionals, it's for employers, leaders, HR managers, business owners, department heads, and anyone involved in talent development and team strategy. Today, we'll explore the business case for certification, not from a personal ambition perspective, but from a strategic and organizational one. So let's ask the real question. Why should businesses care if their teams are certified? To answer that, we need to look at the current business climate. The landscape has changed. Globalization, automation, remote work, regulatory complexity, client sophistication. These are not future trends, they are today's reality. Businesses are operating in environments that are faster paced, projects move quickly, clients want results yesterday, and delays are unacceptable. Riskier, compliance failures, safety issues, and bad PR can be devastating. More competitive, with the internet, customers and clients can compare vendors worldwide in minutes. Data-driven, outcomes are tracked, measured, and reported. Reputation sensitive, one mistake can go viral, one success can become a brand standard. In such an environment, uncertified teams are liabilities. They're harder to standardize, more expensive to train retroactively, and less trusted by external stakeholders. Certification is how businesses fight back. Certification as organizational infrastructure. Think of certification like infrastructure. Roads, networks, power grids, they allow a system to function predictably. Certification does the same for your workforce. It gives you a common language across teams, predictable performance baselines, built-in trust signals for clients, faster onboarding and role transitions, audit-ready documentation for compliance. When your team is certified, they aren't just experienced, they're aligned. That means when a crisis hits, or when a new initiative is launched, or when a new partner joins, you're not reinventing the wheel. You're activating a system that's already tuned. Let's illustrate this with a practical example. Case study: a tale of two construction firms. Company A is a mid-sized construction firm with decades of experience. They rely on informal mentorship, on-the-job training, and thus "we've always done it this way" approach. Company B, in the same market, mandates NEBOSH IGC certification for all safety officers, ISO training for their project managers, and continuous professional development, CPD, points for their site engineers. When a government RFP requires strict safety documentation and training proof, Company B gets shortlisted immediately. Company A? They may have experience, but no documentation. No proof. No external verification. They're out of the running before the first meeting. That's what certification does. It doesn't replace experience, but it translates it into something measurable, transferable, and credible. Internal benefits, performance, retention, and promotion. Internally, certification also solves problems that many companies struggle with. How do we upskill our team without losing productivity? How do we promote people fairly without bias? How do we retain our best employees? Certification provides answers. Employees with a clear certification path are more likely to stay, they feel the company is investing in them. Can be promoted based on transparent benchmarks. Gain confidence to contribute more, they know their knowledge is valid. And because certification involves external testing and study, managers can trust the results. You're not promoting someone just because they've been around the longest, you're promoting them because they've demonstrated mastery. The cost of not certifying. Let's flip the discussion. What's the cost of not certifying your team? Increased safety incidents in regulated environments. Client dissatisfaction due to inconsistent execution. Team miscommunication from lack of shared frameworks. Poor audit results or failed compliance checks. Slower adoption of best practices. And perhaps most damaging, lost business. When clients ask for qualifications and you have none to show, you lose credibility. The financial argument. Let's talk money. Many employers hesitate to fund certification because of perceived costs. But the return on investment is often massive. Example: NEBOSH IGC training costs approximate $1,800 per employee. A single safety violation on a large construction site can lead to fines upwards of $20,000, plus delays, bad PR, and injury claims. In finance, hiring a CPA costs more upfront. But a CPA can reduce tax errors, maximize compliance, and even uncover financial efficiencies that more than pay for the investment. Training costs are predictable. Failure costs are not. Globalization, certification as a passport. In a global market, teams must meet international standards. If you're expanding into new markets, say, Europe, North America, or Asia, your clients and partners may expect ISO 9001 for quality management, PMP for project delivery, CPA for finance, SHRM or CIPD for HR. Certification tells your global partners, we speak your language. Without it, you're stuck local, even if you're talented. Employer branding, attracting top talent. In talent acquisition, reputation matters. When a candidate sees that your company supports certification, they assume the company values growth. They expect learning opportunities. They feel safer joining your team. Especially among Gen Z and younger millennials, continuous learning is a top workplace expectation. If you don't offer certification, they may not even apply. Building a culture of excellence. Finally, certification builds culture. When your team knows that everyone, from interns to directors, is held to a standard, it eliminates excuses. It boosts mutual respect. It raises everyone's game. That culture spreads. Clients notice. New hires adapt. Leaders emerge. It becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. And at the center of it? Certification. Closing thought. If you're an employer wondering whether to invest in certification, remember this. You're not buying paper, you're buying performance, predictability, and potential. In the next sections, we'll dive deeper into specific business benefits, how certified teams improve risk control, boost efficiency, win contracts, and more. But for now, ask yourself, can you afford not to certify? Certification isn't a training expense. It's an infrastructure upgrade. Let's build smarter. 2. Risk reduction and compliance readiness. 2. Risk reduction and compliance readiness. In today's rapidly changing business world, risk is no longer a possibility, it's a certainty. Companies that fail to manage it are not just falling behind, they're being penalized, exposed, or even shut down. For modern employers, risk isn't just about the balance sheet anymore, it's about the safety of people, the security of systems, the trust of clients, and the scrutiny of regulators. And this is where certification steps in, not as an optional bonus but as an essential layer of organizational protection. This section will explore how certified teams don't just reduce risk, they transform how companies operate under pressure, prepare for disruption, and stay aligned with global standards. Understanding risk in modern organizations. Organizational risk isn't just about profit loss. It's about regulatory violations, safety incidents, legal liabilities, data breaches, reputational collapse. Each of these risks can originate from one simple failure, a misstep in judgment, a lack of awareness, or an untrained employee following outdated practices. Now ask, who's less likely to make those errors? Someone certified, or someone who isn't? Certification creates proactive thinkers. Certified professionals are trained to see problems before they happen. In most certification programs, whether NEBOSH for safety, PMP for project risk, or CISSP for cybersecurity, risk identification is a core part of the curriculum. These professionals assess situations critically, document incidents correctly, use root cause analysis, implement corrective action. This mindset turns risk management from a reactive process into a continuous, preventive discipline. Case study: the cost of being uncertified. Scenario A: construction site mismanagement. An international contractor operating in the Gulf was fined over $250,000 when a non-certified foreman failed to follow proper lockout-tagout procedures, resulting in serious injury. An investigation revealed no certified safety officer on site. The injury was preventable. Scenario B: certified team in action. In contrast, a Dubai-based logistics company avoided catastrophe when their NEBOSH-certified warehouse manager noticed signs of a fuel leak. Within minutes, the area was isolated, and emergency teams responded. Insurance flagged it as an incident, but no claim needed to be filed. The difference? Training, awareness, and swift protocol execution. Compliance is no longer optional. Global regulators are tightening oversight. Whether it's GDPR in Europe, OSHA in the US, or civil defense in the UAE, compliance is increasingly tied to whether your team is trained and certified. Hiring certified employees ensures that policies are properly interpreted, procedures are followed consistently, documentation meets inspection standards. Failing to meet these expectations leads to fines, operational shutdowns, and PR disasters. Insurance and legal protection. Insurers know the data, certified teams file fewer claims. That's why many insurers now offer discounted premiums to businesses with NEBOSH OSHA certified safety leads, ISO 27001 trained IT teams, CPA certified finance heads. Likewise, in legal proceedings, courts examine the company's diligence. If your employee made a mistake, the court will ask, was this person trained? Certified? Qualified to make that decision? If not, liability shifts squarely onto the employer. Real estate and construction sector, a closer look. Let's look at construction. This is an industry with heavy equipment, structural risk, fire hazards, regulatory permits. Without certified safety staff, even one skipped procedure could result in scaffolding collapse, toxic exposure, worker fatality. These aren't hypotheticals. These are daily risks. In the UAE, for example, Dubai Municipality and Civil Defense frequently inspect work sites. A site without certified personnel, like those holding NEBOSH or OSHA, often gets penalized or shut down on the spot. Certified professionals not only know the rules, they follow and document them. IT and cybersecurity, training versus threat. In the digital space, certification is the line between secure systems and open doors for hackers. Common IT certifications. CISSP, Certified Information Systems Security Professional. CH, Certified Ethical Hacker. ISO 27001 Lead Implementer. These aren't vanity badges. They signify training in data encryption, Penetration testing. Incident response. Regulatory compliance, GDPR, HIPAA, etc. One unpatched vulnerability can cost a business millions. Certified IT staff reduce this risk tenfold. Healthcare, the role of certified professionals. In hospitals and health centers, the stakes are life and death. A nurse trained only on the job might miss hygiene protocols, while a hacked poor HIPAA-certified practitioner won't. An administrator without GCP, good clinical practice, knowledge could mishandle trial data, while a certified one ensures compliance. In health environments, certification is a safeguard against human error, patient complaints, and medical malpractice suits. Internal audit and documentation discipline. Audit readiness is a direct outcome of having certified personnel. Certified employees. Maintain logs. File documentation on time. Use standard forms. Follow version control. This makes audit smoother, faster, and less invasive. Example: a company with ISO 9001 certified quality managers recently passed a surprise client audit in 3 days, without a single finding. Their competitor failed and lost a $500,000 contract. Response under pressure. What happens when something goes wrong? In every crisis, there's a golden moment, the first 3 to 5 minutes, where action determines outcome. Certified staff know who to alert, what steps to follow, what records to keep. This quick response is taught, practiced, and expected in most certification environments. An untrained team might freeze, panic, or take conflicting actions. A certified team activates emergency protocols. Certification as a cultural benchmark. Certification isn't just a skill validator, it shapes the culture of the workplace. When everyone on a team is certified, communication is clearer. Decisions are faster. There's mutual trust in competency. It encourages peer accountability, continuous learning, operational excellence. Certified culture means low ego, high standards. Summary: certification is a strategic risk tool. To reduce risk, a company can buy insurance, create rules, install cameras. But none of these work without people who understand, believe in, and apply those tools. That's what certification guarantees: competence, compliance, confidence. Whether it's an audit, emergency, or routine operation, certified teams execute with fewer errors, faster resolutions, and more resilience. Certification reduces risk not by chance, but by design. And in a world where businesses are under the microscope every day, that kind of design isn't just smart, it's essential. 3. Winning contracts and building client trust. In today's hyper-competitive business landscape, clients and partners are no longer persuaded by charm or vague promises. They're looking for hard evidence, metrics, references, frameworks, and most importantly, certified teams. Whether you're bidding on a government contract, trying to secure a multinational deal, or even just pitching to a well-informed client, one thing becomes clear: certification builds trust, and trust wins business. In this section, we'll explore how certifications impact business development, proposal success rates, and client relationships in both local and global contexts. Clients are more informed than ever. We're in an era where information is available instantly. A client preparing for a deal with your firm might look up your company certifications online, ask for the credentials of your assigned personnel, cross-reference international compliance standards. In industries like engineering, healthcare, cybersecurity, logistics, and education, clients don't just want assurance, they want proof. And they trust internationally recognized certifications more than vague assurances of competence. B2B and B2G, certifications in proposals. Let's consider 2 types of contracts. B2B, business to business. A corporate partner might require your sales representatives to be ISO certified in quality processes. A supplier might only work with OSHA-certified personnel for safety-sensitive jobs. B2G, business to government. Government tenders often include mandatory certifications as eligibility criteria. For instance, UAE Civil Defense often requires NEBOSH or IOSH certified staff for construction safety approval. IT departments must prove ISO 27001 or CISSP trained security staff to qualify for data-related work. If your company doesn't meet the minimum certification threshold, you are disqualified immediately, no matter how impressive your offer. Real-life example, construction tenders in the Gulf. In the GCC region, construction and infrastructure tenders are among the most lucrative. However, clients, especially governments and large developers, demand a safety-first approach. Requirements often include NEBOSH-certified HSE officers, ISO 9001 and 45001 process adherence, certified rigging and scaffolding inspectors. Firms that can't prove certified personnel are often disqualified in the pre-qualification phase. Meanwhile, those who highlight certification in their method statements, team CVS, and mobilization plans are more likely to advance. Certification becomes your ticket to the negotiation table. Trust in certified individuals equals trust in the organization. It's not just about the company, it's about who represents the company. A client's first real interaction with your brand is often through a sales representative, a project lead, a safety supervisor, a customer support manager. If those individuals can say, "I'm a certified project manager, PMP," or "I'm a Cisco certified network engineer," the client immediately relaxes. The interaction is no longer based on guesswork, it's based on confidence. Trust gets transferred. A certified person builds credibility, and that credibility reflects on your entire operation. The client audit factor. Many high-profile clients conduct compliance audits of their vendors. They want to see staff training logs, industry certifications, emergency response plans, evidence of technical and safety readiness. Firms with documentation and certification records pass easily. Others scramble to provide proof, or worse, get rejected. A certified team doesn't just pass audits, they invite them. Certification shows professionalism in new markets. Entering a new market? Certification becomes your passport. Let's say you're a UAE-based IT company expanding to Singapore. Your local clients know you. But overseas? They don't know your CEO. They don't know your track record. They don't care about your office size. What they care about is whether your cybersecurity lead holds a CISSP, whether your team uses Agile frameworks, Scrum Master certified, whether your data team includes Google Cloud or AWS certified architects. Certifications speak a global language. They replace unknowns with knowns. Certification in freelancing and consultancy. Even outside large corporations, certifications impact individual credibility. Freelance graphic designers with Adobe certification charge more. Project consultants with PMP or Prince2 are prioritized. Coaches with ICF credentials are booked faster. Platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, and Clarity.fm now allow freelancers to display certifications as part of their profiles. Clients filter search results by certification. It's not optional, it's part of client expectations. Certification as a value proposition. Let's say your firm is bidding on a $1 million software deployment contract. Your competition offers a lower price, promises faster delivery. But your team lists 3 PMP certified project managers, highlights Scrum training across all developers, provides evidence of AWS partnership with certified engineers. Who wins? You do. Because you're not selling speed or price, you're selling reliability, structure, and peace of mind. Certification isn't just for resumes, it's for client decks, bid proposals, and sales meetings. Branding and market differentiation. Let's talk marketing. Certifications boost branding. When your LinkedIn posts show pictures of your team receiving ISO training, when your website says our managers are Prince2 certified, when your brochures carry logos from NEBOSH, Cisco, or SHRM, it elevates how people see you. In crowded markets, certification is a brand differentiator. For B2C, our trainers are internationally certified. For B2B, our finance heads hold global credentials. For tech, we're Google Cloud certified partners. It tells clients, we invest in quality. Internal synergy, certification builds cohesion. Winning contracts isn't just external. Certification creates internal alignment. Sales and operations speak the same process language. PMO and delivery teams apply the same frameworks. Onboarding becomes smoother across regions. This cohesion improves delivery timelines, quality assurance, post-project feedback. Happy clients return and bring referrals. Examples across industries. Engineering. ISO 9001, 14001, and 45001 boost chances of securing long-term infrastructure contracts. IT. Certifications in Microsoft, Google Cloud, AWS, and Agile Scrum are often required for major software deployments. Healthcare. JCI accreditation, HIPAA training, and medical certifications are critical for hospital partnerships and insurance acceptance. Training and education. Certified trainers, like TESOL, CELTA, or Train the Trainer, are needed to work with international students or corporate clients. HR and recruitment. SHRM, CIPD, and HRCI certifications help agencies win RPO, recruitment process outsourcing, contracts. Conclusion: certified teams win deals. In the world of business development, perception matters. But certification transforms perception into proof. With certified teams, you meet eligibility criteria faster. You pass audits without stress. You gain client trust sooner. You stand out from low-cost competitors. Certification isn't a checkbox, it's a strategy. It's how companies win contracts, grow revenue, and build relationships that last. And in the boardrooms, war rooms, and Zoom calls where deals are won or lost, certified teams are the ones that win. Because when everything else is equal, trust decides. And certification builds trust. FUTK employer branding, attracting top talent. In today's talent-driven economy, the competition is no longer just about clients, it's about people. Great organizations aren't just defined by the products they make or the services they offer. They're defined by the talent they attract, develop, and retain. And when it comes to winning that talent, your employer brand is everything. In this section, we'll explore how investing in certified teams directly enhances your ability to attract top-tier professionals, people who want more than a job, they want a culture of excellence, learning, and growth. What is employer branding? Let's define the term. Employer branding is your reputation as a workplace. It's how potential employees perceive your company before they even apply. It includes your values and mission, your learning and development, L&D, opportunities, career advancement pathways, employee testimonials and case studies, how you treat your people during onboarding, appraisal, and exits. And here's the truth, certification investment tells a powerful story. It says you invest in growth. It says you care about credibility. It says your people matter. The talent market has changed. Job seekers today are more informed and more selective than ever. They read Glassdoor reviews. They check employee LinkedIn profiles. They compare salary bands, benefits, and, crucially, career growth offerings. And what's one of the top questions modern job seekers ask? What learning or certification opportunities do you offer? If your answer is vague, they move on. If your answer includes, we sponsor PMP, NEBOSH, and SHRM certifications, We offer internal prep programs for ISO auditors. We provide annual L&D budgets for certification. Then you have their attention. You're not just offering a job. You're offering a career. Certification culture signals advancement. Top talent wants clear upward mobility. By building a certification-based development framework, you create a talent pipeline that's transparent, motivating, fair. For example, a sales executive becomes eligible for a team leader role after earning a Certified Sales Professional (CSP) credential. A junior project coordinator must complete CAPM before advancing to PMP and team lead positions. A site engineer can only lead a zone after completing NEBOSH IGC. This turns advancement from politics into process. And ambitious professionals love that. Case study: a mid-sized tech firm. A mid-sized IT firm in Dubai was struggling to retain talent. Exit interviews showed that employees felt stuck, no growth, no recognition. The company took a bold step. They partnered with certification providers for AWS, Scrum Master, and DevOps. Introduced internal prep sessions and peer study groups. Tied promotion and bonus eligibility to skill validation. In 2 years, retention improved by 35%. Job applications increased by 50%. Their LinkedIn following doubled. The message was clear: invest in people, and they stay. Certified employees become brand ambassadors. There's a ripple effect. When your employees earn respected credentials, they update LinkedIn. They share photos. They celebrate wins. And guess what happens? People take notice. Talent begins to associate your brand with professional development. You stop needing to advertise jobs aggressively because people come to you. It becomes free, credible marketing. Certification attracts high performers. The best professionals are constantly improving. They want to join teams that match their standards. When your current employees carry certifications like PMP or Prince2, SHRMCP or CIPD, ISO Lead Auditor, CFA, CPA or CMA, AWS, CISSP, or CCNA. You attract others of equal or higher caliber. You create a virtuous cycle. Certified staff attract ambitious recruits. Ambitious recruits drive up internal standards. The brand becomes synonymous with excellence. L&D as a key benefit in employer value proposition. Your employer value proposition, EVP, is what sets you apart from the dozens of other companies hiring. Top-tier companies include flexible work schedules, inclusive culture, health benefits, remote opportunities, and now, certification funding. In fact, many companies explicitly list annual certification budget DAED 5,000. We fund your PMP, NEBOSH, or HRCI exams after 6 months of tenure. Employees eligible for certification coaching by department leads. For a professional choosing between 2 offers, this might tip the decision. Millennials and Gen Z expect learning paths. Younger generations entering the workforce don't just ask about titles. They ask, what can I learn here? Will I be challenged? Will I grow in ways that matter? Certification pathways are a tangible answer. Example: Year 1, Google Data Analytics Certificate. Year 2, CAPM PMP. Year 3, Agile Scrum Frameworks. You're building lifetime loyalty, not just employee tenure. Certification builds employer reputation across borders. Want to hire globally? Remote work is an option. But international candidates need assurance too. If your job post says, "We invest in international certifications," 60% of our staff hold industry credentials. L&D budget available after probation. You've already outclassed 80% of other employers in the job market. Especially for roles in IT, engineering, logistics, compliance, creative services. Certification is an international language of trust. Alumni impact and recruitment referrals. Employees who receive certifications from you become part of your alumni brand. When they move on to future jobs, they speak positively of your organization. Refer candidates back to you. Recommend your L&D culture. You don't just lose them, you multiply your brand footprint. And when certifications are part of their story, they always trace that story back to your company. Building a certification pathway. To leverage certification for talent attraction, companies must identify strategic certifications per department. Assign internal mentors or coaches. Provide funding or discounts. Offer time off or study leave options. Celebrate publicly, emails, social posts, internal awards. It's not just an HR initiative. It's a strategic employer branding initiative. Conclusion: certification is a talent magnet. In the race to attract and retain world-class professionals, ping pong tables and free coffee won't cut it. Growth matters. Learning matters. Development matters. Certification tells potential hires, we're serious about your future. We reward ambition. We don't just say we care, we invest in proof. The companies that win talent in the next decade won't be the ones with the flashiest ads. They'll be the ones with the clearest path to professional growth. And certification is the cornerstone of that path. Welcome to the future of employer branding. Let's make growth the reason people knock on your door. 5. Building a culture of excellence and accountability. In any organization, culture is not what's written on posters or mission statements, it's what people actually do when no one is watching. And one of the strongest indicators of a high-performing culture is the presence of certification pathways across roles and departments. This section explores how certification not only improves individual skill sets but elevates the entire culture of a company. We'll show how it becomes the backbone of accountability, consistency, and continuous improvement across the organization. What is a culture of excellence? A culture of excellence is a workplace environment where high standards are the norm. Learning and development are continuous. Employees feel empowered to take ownership. Results are measured, not assumed. Feedback is encouraged, not feared. It's a system where every role has purpose, every success is earned, and every person contributes to the organization's credibility. Why certification drives cultural change. Certifications enforce discipline. They require structured learning, assessments, and validation from external bodies. When an organization builds its internal workflows and promotion paths around certification, it sends a powerful message. We don't guess quality, we measure it. This has multiple ripple effects. Team members strive to meet external benchmarks. Managers begin coaching for competency, not compliance. Performance evaluations become tied to skill metrics. Internal politics are replaced by transparent criteria. That is how certification institutionalizes accountability. The certification ladder, clear expectations at every level. Consider how certification helps define standards at each level of an employee's growth. Entry-level, baseline technical certifications, e.g., OSHA, Google Fundamentals, ITIL Foundation. Mid-level, role-based credentials, e.g., PMP, SHRMCP, Lean Six Sigma. Senior level, strategy-focused certifications, e.g., CMA, NEBOSH Diploma, MBA equivalent programs. Leadership level, governance and transformation certifications, e.g., ISO Lead Auditor, ESG Compliance Expert. This framework builds a growth mindset into the fabric of the company. Employees know what's expected. Leaders know what to coach. HR knows what to reward. Eliminating favoritism and informal promotions. Without formal criteria, promotions often become a reward for tenure rather than performance. A result of internal politics. An emotional decision, not a strategic one. Certification solves this. It provides a neutral benchmark that anyone, regardless of age, gender, background, or department, can work toward. This fuels fairness, motivation, retention. People stay longer in companies where the rules for growth are clear. How certification creates accountability across teams. In a certified workplace culture, the sales team follows recognized negotiation frameworks. The operations team uses process improvement tools learned in Lean Six Sigma. The HR team handles grievances using global SHRM standards. The project team uses PMP-aligned documentation practices. This leads to consistency across departments, reduced miscommunication, faster onboarding of new staff. When something goes wrong, it's not about assigning blame, it's about reviewing the standard and improving the process. That's mature accountability. Case study: healthcare provider in GCC. A healthcare provider in the GCC region was struggling with inconsistencies in patient handling, documentation, and internal reporting. They made the decision to introduce international certifications for all nurses, admin staff, and department heads. Nurses pursued basic life support, BLS, and advanced cardiovascular life support, ACLS. Admin staff were trained in healthcare operations certifications. Leaders completed ISO 9001 lead auditor training. Within 12 months, patient satisfaction improved by 40%. Audit readiness increased. Error reports dropped significantly. The certifications did more than educate, they unified the company's approach to quality. Embedding certification in performance reviews. Companies often ask, how do we hold people accountable without being harsh? One solution: tie certifications to evaluations. Sample structure: 20% of appraisal equals team contributions. 40% equals KPIs. 20% equals peer reviews. 20% equals skill development, certification earned or in progress. This gives employees a clear target. It rewards those who invest in learning. And it builds a performance culture based on action, not opinion. Certification as a retention and loyalty tool. Let's be honest, employees leave when they feel stagnant. Offering a certification roadmap tells them, you can grow here. You don't need to leave to level up. Companies that fund certifications report lower turnover because employees feel valued. Learning breaks routine. Certification achievements boost morale. People bond through shared prep sessions. You're not just building knowledge. You're building emotional loyalty. Internal mentorship and peer coaching. A culture of certification inspires internal mentorship. PMP certified team leads help prep new applicants. SHRMCP holders run internal HR study groups. ISO certified managers do dry runs before audits. This drives cross-functional collaboration and breaks down silos. Over time, it becomes part of the culture. We help each other succeed. Culture check: how to know if it's working. You know you're building a certification-driven culture when staff voluntarily ask to enroll in programs. Teams celebrate exam success publicly. Certification goals show up in annual planning. HR fields more internal L&D requests than complaints. Exit interviews mention growth, not frustration. Addressing pushback: is this extra pressure? Sometimes employees resist new certification policies. Here's how to handle it. Start with voluntary tracks, showcase early adopters. Fund the first round, reduce financial anxiety. Set realistic timelines, no one should feel rushed. Reward, don't punish, incentivize success instead of penalizing failure. The goal is empowerment, not stress. Over time, the mindset shifts. Certification becomes a badge of pride, not a burden. Making it official: policy integration. To build sustainability, include certification milestones in job descriptions. Add L&D expectations into manager KPIs. Tie team-level certification progress to departmental budgets. Celebrate success stories in company newsletters. Certification stops being an initiative. It becomes the standard. Conclusion: culture is what you certify. You can't fake culture. You build it, brick by brick. And one of the most effective bricks? Certification. It aligns expectations. It increases transparency. It reduces drama. It raises everyone's game. When everyone knows what excellence looks like and how to measure it, it's no longer abstract. It's part of how people work, lead, and grow. Invest in certifications, and you're not just building skills. You're building a movement of accountability, excellence, and pride. And that's the kind of culture top performers, clients, and future leaders want to join. 6. Understanding organizational risk. Risk is a constant in business. Whether it's operational, financial, reputational, or regulatory, companies must be able to recognize and manage risks effectively to stay competitive and compliant. In this section, we will explore how certification directly supports organizational risk management, turning uncertainty into strategic control. Certifications aren't just for compliance, they are tools of risk mitigation. They help create systems where risk is identified early, handled professionally, and recorded according to best practices. We'll examine how certified professionals impact everything from audit readiness to crisis response, and how this translates into a more resilient, agile organization. Defining organizational risk. Organizational risk refers to any potential event or condition that could disrupt operations, damage reputation, or compromise legal standing. These risks can be internal, e.g., poor processes, skill gaps, outdated technology. External, e.g., economic downturns, regulatory changes, natural disasters. Strategic, e.g., failed initiatives, mergers, or poor planning. Common risk areas include operational breakdowns, non-compliance with laws and regulations, cybersecurity threats, workplace safety hazards, financial misreporting. Each of these can cause reputational harm, legal penalties, or even business closure if not proactively managed. Why certification reduces risk? Certified professionals bring more than just knowledge, they bring predictability and structure. This is what risk management needs. People who can recognize early warning signs. Systems that are standardized across the company. Documentation that's aligned with audit protocols. Certified employees. Follow recognized practices ISO, OSHA, PMI, SHRM. Are trained in regulatory frameworks. Are less likely to take shortcuts that lead to non-compliance. When your people understand risk through formal education, they become your first line of defense. Audit preparedness. One of the biggest operational risks companies face is failing an audit, be it financial, safety, or compliance-related. Certified professionals. Prepare documentation systematically. Maintain records aligned with audit checklists. Use standardized templates and processes. This reduces panic during inspections and improves your standing with external regulators and partners. Example: a logistics company that trains its supply chain team in ISO 28000 supply chain security management will pass security audits faster and win international contracts more easily. Compliance across borders. If your organization works across multiple countries, compliance becomes more complex. Laws vary, but certifications offer a unifying language. For instance, GDPR in Europe versus data privacy laws in UAE. OSHA, USA, versus NEBOSH, UK-based but global. Certified professionals trained in international standards are better equipped to navigate conflicting regulations, identify gaps, propose scalable solutions that align with all legal requirements. This avoids legal entanglements and supports smoother global expansion. Crisis response and continuity planning. Risk isn't just about avoiding problems, it's about responding effectively when they occur. Certified teams have documented response plans. Understand roles during crises. Use proven crisis management models. For example, a company with ISO 22301 certified professionals will have a robust business continuity management system, BCMS. A team trained in hazmat or OSHA 30 can act immediately in chemical spills or industrial accidents. You don't rise to the occasion, you fall back on your training. Financial risk and control. Financial misreporting is one of the most catastrophic risks a company can face. Certifications in finance and accounting help safeguard integrity. Professionals with CMA, a Certified Management Accountant. CPA, Certified Public Accountant. CIA, Certified Internal Auditor, are trained to detect anomalies early, implement internal controls, align reporting with GAAP/IFRS standards. These certifications prevent costly errors and enhance board-level confidence. Cybersecurity and data protection. As cyber threats evolve, so must your defenses. Certifications like CISSP, Certified Information Systems Security Professional. CH, Certified Ethical Hacker. CISA, Certified Information Systems Auditor. Equip teams with current knowledge on risk assessment techniques, threat identification, security protocols. Without certified cybersecurity personnel, your organization is simply reactive. With them, you become proactive. People risk and HR non-compliance. HR-related risks, from wrongful termination to labor disputes, can cause massive reputational damage. Certified HR professionals. Know local labor laws. Use fair and defensible recruitment policies. Document employee issues properly. A company with SHRMCP or SIPT certified HR staff avoids missteps in employee terminations, grievance handling, compensation decisions. They help create a safer, more ethical environment for employees and leadership alike. Workplace safety and risk prevention. This is especially relevant in construction, manufacturing, logistics, and healthcare. Certified safety officers. Conduct risk assessments using NEBOSH OSHA standards. Train others in hazard recognition. Maintain safety logs and incident reports. They don't just follow checklists, they create cultures of prevention. And when safety improves, insurance premiums drop and productivity rises. Legal risk and documentation integrity. Legal departments rely heavily on precise documentation and process traceability. Certification in legal operations or contract management ensures policy consistency, clause comprehension, chain of custody awareness. In the event of litigation, the presence of certified staff strengthens your legal defense. Scenario-based risk reduction, a comparison. Let's compare two companies. Company A, no formal certification culture. Safety violations result in repeated shutdowns. Finance team makes late submissions. Data breaches trigger client exits. Company B, certification-driven structure. NEBOSH certified team reduced incidents by 60%. CMA certified accountants cut delays by 30%. CISP-led IT team passed an external security audit. Which company would you invest in? Which one would you join? Which one would you trust? The difference is measurable. Certification as part of risk policy. To formalize the impact of certification, organizations should map certification paths to risk areas. Require minimum certifications in high-risk roles. Integrate certification tracking into risk dashboards. Report on certification metrics during board reviews. This turns certification from an HR function into a risk control mechanism. Conclusion: predictable teams, predictable outcomes. Organizations can't eliminate all risks, but they can reduce them. And the most efficient way to do so? Empower your people with certification. It's not just about hiring smart people. It's about training them to spot issues early, document actions properly, stay aligned with industry expectations. Certification turns chaos into process. It turns guesswork into systems. It transforms risk from something feared into something managed. If you want fewer surprises, lower liability, and higher standards, invest in certification. Because the biggest risk of all is leaving it to chance. 7. How certification reduces insurance premiums and legal exposure. In today's corporate environment, risk management is deeply tied to financial outcomes, especially when it comes to insurance premiums and legal liability. Businesses face ever-increasing costs to insure their operations, personnel, data, and assets. But what if certifications could actually bring those costs down? This section explores how employee and organizational certifications reduce insurance premiums, strengthen legal defenses, and lower overall risk exposure, turning professional development into a financial asset. Insurance, a price tag on risk. Insurance companies exist to assess and price risk. The higher your risk, the higher your premium. When insurers evaluate your company, they look at historical claims, incident rates, safety measures, compliance history, staff training and certifications. Organizations that show proactive risk mitigation through certified personnel are statistically less likely to file major claims. This isn't theoretical, it's a formula. And certification plays a central role in reducing your perceived risk. Certified staff equals safer operations. Let's start with the obvious: certified safety professionals reduce accidents. Example: a construction company with NEBOSH, OSHA, or IOSH certified personnel on every job site will perform risk assessments, maintain better documentation, prevent regulatory violations, reduce near misses and accidents. Fewer accidents mean fewer claims, lower workers' compensation premiums, less business disruption. Insurers often offer premium discounts when a company can prove it has certified first aid responders, safety officers with current training, documented health and safety systems, e.g., ISO 45001, ISO certification and organizational insurance. ISO certifications like ISO 9001, Quality Management, ISO 27001, Information Security, ISO 22301, Business Continuity, aren't just badges of honor. They're audit-ready systems that prove risk is continuously monitored. Data and documentation are handled securely. Processes are resilient. When a company holds ISO certifications, insurers see it as structured, disciplined, and predictable, which results in lower general liability premiums, favorable terms for cybersecurity coverage, reduced exclusions on property and business continuity policies, data protection and cyber liability. Data breaches are now a leading cause of liability claims. Companies without certified IT teams are seen as vulnerable. Certifications like CISSP, Certified Information Systems Security Professional, CISM, Certified Information Security Manager, CH, Certified Ethical Hacker. Signal preparedness. They prove the team has up-to-date threat intelligence, uses best practice security protocols, can implement incident response plans. Some insurers require these credentials for cyber insurance eligibility. Others use them to determine policy pricing, payout limits, deductible structures. Without these certifications, premiums are inflated, or worse, coverage is denied altogether. Legal exposure, a matter of documentation. Certifications help companies build solid documentation practices. This becomes crucial in litigation. Consider workplace injury claims. If safety officers are NEBOSH certified, their risk assessments hold more weight in court. If HR professionals are SHRMCP or CIPD certified, their termination documentation is more likely to be defensible. In case of legal scrutiny, certification means you followed recognized standards. You had trained personnel in charge. You didn't cut corners out of ignorance. This minimizes penalties and helps win disputes. Industry-specific examples. Construction. Insurers reduce premiums for projects led by PMP or NEBOSH certified managers. Certified site safety audits lead to better bonding terms. Healthcare. Hospitals with certified infection control officers face fewer claims during inspections. ISO 15189 in medical labs often reduces malpractice exposure. Manufacturing. Lean Six Sigma certified teams lead process improvements that cut production defects and warranty claims. Retail and hospitality. Certified food handlers and ISO 22000 compliance, food safety, reduce consumer liability. In each case, certification isn't just a learning tool, it's a legal and financial shield. The insurance underwriter's perspective. Underwriters review your risk profile during policy negotiation. They consider staff qualifications, training history, compliance protocols. Certified staff makes their job easier. They know what standards were followed. They can reference international norms. They predict lower future claims. You might even get custom packages with better premiums, policy limits, coverage scope. Real case study, transportation company in the UAE. A mid-sized logistics company operating in Dubai struggled with frequent cargo damage and driver incidents. Their insurer flagged them for high premiums. The company responded by certifying all drivers with defensive driving credentials, training warehouse staff under ISO 28000 supply chain security, hiring an HSE manager with NEBOSH qualifications. Within 18 months, claims dropped by 50%. Inspection compliance improved. Insurance premiums decreased by 22%. The certification investment paid for itself within a year. Contract bidding and certification. Many government and enterprise contracts require certified teams. If your employees hold PMP, SHRM, ISO, or safety certifications, you qualify for more projects. You win bids based on risk-reduced profiles. You justify higher pricing through quality assurance. Insurance-backed contracts also ask for certifications as a condition of indemnity. In short, certification gives you legal and financial leverage. Reducing downtime and business interruption risk. Business interruption insurance covers lost revenue during forced shutdowns. But insurers want to see that you've tried to avoid such disruptions. Enter ISO 22301, Business Continuity. PMP, Project Risk Planning. ITIL, Service Management. Teams trained in these areas. Build backup systems. Respond faster to crises. Maintain service continuity. Result? Lower premium. Faster claim approval. Higher customer satisfaction. Integrating certification into your risk and insurance strategy. To maximize benefits. Conduct a certification audit. Who has what? Where are the gaps? Map certifications to risk zones, link HR, finance, safety, IT to their credential paths. Meet insurer expectations, ask your broker what certifications they value. Incentivize critical certifications, offer L&D credits or bonuses. Use certification reports in renewal meetings, prove you're improving. ROI of certification in risk terms, Dubai pricing. Let's break this down using real-world costs from the UAE training landscape. Investment, Dubai pricing via Quadra Plus. PMP course equals AED 1,500. NEBOSH IGC equals AED 3,500. ISO 9001 lead auditor equals AED 3,000. Potential savings. Reduced legal settlements, AED 36,000,000-1-800-000+. Lower insurance premiums, 10 to 30% annually. Faster contract approvals equals increased project wins and revenue. Even at these higher-end course prices, the return on investment is still exponential. A few thousand dirhams invested now can prevent hundreds of thousands lost later, or even open the door to contracts you otherwise wouldn't qualify for. 8. Certification as a driver of innovation and strategic agility. In today's hyper-competitive market, survival is no longer about efficiency alone, it's about innovation, adaptability, and staying ahead of change. While certification is often associated with compliance and credibility, it also plays a powerful role in driving innovation and enabling strategic agility across an organization. In this section, we'll explore how a workforce trained and certified in current methodologies, technologies, and industry frameworks doesn't just keep up with the market, they help define what's next. Certification is not just about standards, it's about readiness to lead transformation. Redefining certification beyond compliance. Traditionally, certification is seen as a checkbox, especially in regulated industries. But that view is outdated. Modern certification programs are designed to equip professionals with cutting-edge tools, frameworks, and mindsets that encourage problem-solving, cross-functional thinking, and process transformation. Examples include Lean Six Sigma for continuous improvement, Agile and Scrum for innovation in project management, Digital Transformation Certificates from MIT or Coursera for rethinking service delivery, Design Thinking certifications to enhance customer centricity. These aren't about keeping pace, they're about pushing boundaries. Innovation begins with education. True innovation is born from knowledge, especially knowledge that has structure and global perspective. Certified employees are trained in problem identification and root cause analysis. Know how to map processes and identify inefficiencies. Understand change management and how to implement new ideas systematically. This combination creates a culture of innovation. Not just in R&D, but in every department. Case study: logistics company reinvents warehousing. A mid-sized logistics company in Abu Dhabi certified their warehouse supervisors in Lean Six Sigma and Agile fundamentals. What followed? A 40% reduction in redundant inventory. Introduction of a mobile dashboard for real-time stock levels. A new picking system that improved speed by 25%. None of this came from a vendor. It came from certified internal talent who understood the problems and had the tools to solve them. Certifications as idea accelerators. Certified staff are more likely to propose cost-saving changes, use metrics and KPIs to test ideas, communicate effectively with cross-functional teams, lead pilot programs or innovation labs. This reduces dependency on outside consultants and builds internal innovation muscle. Strategic agility, what it means today. Strategic agility refers to an organization's ability to pivot based on market signals. Whether that's responding to a competitor's new product, reacting to a sudden change in customer behavior, adjusting to a supply chain crisis. Companies that are certification equipped are better prepared. For example, a marketing team with HubSpot inbound marketing certificates can redesign campaigns fast. A finance team with certified risk manager (CRM) credentials can run impact analyses. A manufacturing floor with lean certified supervisors can shift production models quickly. Cross-training for cross-functionality. Agile organizations require people who understand multiple functions, not just their own. Certifications help employees understand adjacent departments, collaborate across silos, solve problems holistically. This is especially important in product development, client service design, systems integration projects. A project manager with Agile, finance, and customer service certifications becomes a strategic bridge across teams. Technology adoption and digital maturity. Organizations with higher digital maturity outperform peers in profitability, resilience, and innovation. But digital tools are only as useful as the people using them. Certifications in digital marketing, cloud architecture, AI implementation, cybersecurity frameworks. Ensure your teams can leverage tools fully, propose tech-forward ideas, integrate platforms more effectively. A company without certified digital talent is simply digitizing chaos. Scenario: Public Health Agency versus Certified Consultancy. During the COVID-19 crisis, a public health agency partnered with a consulting firm whose team was certified in public health policy via WHO frameworks, data analytics, Google and Tableau, project management, PMP. They created predictive models for resource needs, designed a logistics dashboard for vaccine delivery, streamlined interagency coordination using Agile. The difference? The agency was reactive. The certified team was proactive. In innovation, that's the difference between lagging and leading. From innovation chaos to innovation structure. Without a framework, innovation is hit or miss. Certified professionals use structured methods like DMAIC, define, measure, analyze, improve, control. Agile sprints. Hoshin strategic planning. This means ideas are proposed with evidence, implemented faster, tracked with metrics. Innovation becomes part of the company's operating rhythm, not just a brainstorm session. Executive buy-in and upward influence. Certified mid-level managers are more confident making upward proposals. Why? They have the vocabulary of strategy. They use internationally accepted tools. Their ideas are benchmarked against industry best practices. Executives listen when the message is. According to Six Sigma analysis, we lose AED 85,000 annually due to rework. Based on ISO 9001 quality gaps, we can reduce inspection failures by 30%. Certification makes ideas credible. Building innovation capacity across the org. Innovation isn't just for top performers, it's for every role. Certifications offer scalable, role-specific upskilling. Entry-level productivity tools. Supervisors process improvement frameworks. Managers change leadership. Executives innovation strategy. When every layer of the organization understands its role in change, agility becomes culture, not just reaction. Conclusion: certified to innovate. In a world that demands speed, reinvention, and market alignment, certified teams become your competitive edge. They think critically, execute efficiently, collaborate across functions, speak the language of strategy. Certification doesn't just prepare teams for what's now, it equips them for what's next. Because in the race to innovate, the best ideas come not from guesswork, but from trained minds. 9. How certified teams improve client trust and retention. In business, trust is everything. Whether you're managing long-term B2B relationships, pitching a proposal, or servicing loyal customers, the perception of credibility can make or break the deal. This is where certifications become more than internal assets, they become powerful external signals that shape how clients view your company. Certified teams tell your customers one thing loud and clear: we take quality, reliability, and expertise seriously. In this section, we'll examine how team certifications translate into client confidence, why that confidence turns into long-term partnerships, and how certified professionals become brand ambassadors that boost retention and referrals. First impressions: the certified advantage. When a potential client evaluates your organization, they look at three key things: past experience, portfolio or proof of work, team credentials. Having a roster of employees with credentials like PMP, ISO lead auditor, NEBOSH, or SHRMCP adds legitimacy. It gives clients immediate peace of mind that your team has been trained by recognized authorities. You follow global standards. You're capable of delivering consistent, high-quality work. Especially in competitive industries, certifications are a tiebreaker or a deal closer. Client psychology: why certifications work. Clients often lack the technical knowledge to judge your internal processes. So, how do they assess you? Certifications equals evidence. Certifications equals risk reduction. Certifications equals commitment. In other words, certifications act as shortcuts to trust. They allow your clients to say, I may not know how they run their systems, but their ISO certification tells me they've got structure. They assigned a NEBOSH certified manager to this site, I know safety will be taken seriously. This emotional reassurance builds the foundation for strong working relationships. Case study: engineering firm in the Middle East. A regional engineering firm began losing tenders to larger, global players. After reviewing feedback, they discovered a pattern. Clients questioned the qualifications of their site supervisors. Their competition listed certifications as a strength. They responded by certifying all site managers with PMP and NEBOSH, training sales teams in ISO standards, adding credentials to proposals and presentations. Result? They began winning back tenders. Client satisfaction scores increased. Repeat business improved by 27% in the following year. Trust turned into revenue. Certifications as marketing tools. Your certifications aren't just internal HR metrics, they're public assets. They belong on websites, proposals, pitch decks, marketing brochures, LinkedIn profiles. Certification signal. Industry alignment. Modern practices. Investment in talent. A simple line like, all customer support team leads are ITIL certified goes a long way in differentiating your service quality. Long-term contracts require long-term confidence. Many clients aren't just buying a service, they're choosing a partner. For multi-year contracts, clients want to know: will your standards hold up over time? Can you adapt as regulations evolve? Is your team continuing to upskill? Ongoing certification renewals, e.g., ISO surveillance audits, PMP-PDUs, NEBOSH CPD, answer that question with a yes. Retention starts with reliability. Clients don't leave over price, they leave over doubt. Doubt that you can keep up with industry change. You understand their needs. You'll meet expectations in year 2 like you did in month 1. Certifications reduce this doubt. They say, we're still sharp. We're investing in our people. We're growing as you grow. Building client-side champions. When a client sees value in your certified team, they become your internal advocates. Let's say you're in IT support. The client's operations manager notices your staff solved a major issue quickly. They later learn the technician is Microsoft Azure certified. That single interaction turns into an email to procurement supporting contract renewal, a case study they share with their colleagues, a referral to another department. Certified professionals create word-of-mouth momentum. In regulated industries, certification is a must. If your clients are regulated, like finance, healthcare, construction, they face audits, inspections, and compliance reviews. They want partners who understand their obligations, won't cause violations, can support documentation. If your team is GDPR certified, ISO 27001 compliant, or trained in FCPA and anti-money laundering, your value to them skyrockets. You're not just a vendor, you're a risk partner. Global clients equals global credentials. For multinational clients, global alignment matters. PMP is recognized in 125+ countries. ISO is a worldwide benchmark. SHRM credentials translate across borders. Certifications signal that your team can understand international workflows, Communicate in professional frameworks. Navigate regional standards. This builds geographic trust, especially when working with outsourcing partners, offshoring operations, multi-region supply chains, service recovery and professionalism. Even when something goes wrong, delays, errors, miscommunication, a certified team is more likely to recover with professionalism. Why? They're trained in client communication. They understand documentation protocols. They know how to log and resolve issues systematically. Clients appreciate that. It turns problems into trust builders. Retention metrics improve with certification. Companies that invest in certification often see longer contract terms, higher NPS, Net Promoter Scores, more upselling success. Clients perceive certified teams as more stable, more knowledgeable, more engaged. That perception drives behavior. And behavior equals renewal. Client testimonials and third-party proof. Certified employees often get mentioned by name in client testimonials. Special thanks to Ahmed, PMP, and Lisa, SHRM, who guided us through every step. These endorsements improve proposal strength, support new client pitches, create a brand story of reliability. Conclusion: trust is the new currency. Trust drives business. And trust comes from credibility. When your team holds relevant, current, globally respected certifications, your company wins faster, serves better, retains longer. In an age of options, your clients will stay with the partner who invests in excellence. Because when clients trust your people, they trust your brand. 10. Certification as a strategic asset in business development and bidding. In highly competitive markets, especially in industries such as construction, IT, consulting, oil and gas, and public procurement, winning a contract doesn't just depend on pricing or previous work. Increasingly, it comes down to credibility, proven capability, and perceived risk. This is where certifications become a critical strategic asset. They are not just internal HR checkmarks, they are differentiators in tenders, proposals, and RFPs, or certifications shift your profile from applicant to preferred partner. In this section, we'll examine how certifications can win deals, qualify you for more complex projects, and build long-term credibility with both private and government clients. The tender battlefield: why bidders need an edge. Let's start with a familiar scenario. Dozens of companies competing for a single lucrative project. Everyone offering similar pricing, timelines, and project plans. How does the client decide? Often, they default to the bidder with better risk controls, stronger governance, qualified people, relevant certifications. A simple line like "Our site manager is NEBOSH certified, and our QA lead is ISO 9001 trained" may be the reason your bid goes to the top of the pile. Certifications and bid eligibility. In many industries, certain certifications aren't just advantageous, they're mandatory. Examples: government projects requiring ISO 45001 or ISO 9001 compliant operations. Oil and gas companies demanding NEBOSH or HSE certifications for all site personnel. IT vendors bidding on cybersecurity contracts must show CISSP or ISO 27001 alignment. No certification equals automatic disqualification. Case study: a UAE engineering firm. A medium-sized engineering consultancy consistently lost out on public tenders. Post-analysis revealed their competition had ISO 9001 and ISO 14001 certifications. Showed PMP certified leads in proposals. Included CPD compliance records. Once the firm trained and certified 40% of their staff, including ISO lead auditor and PMP programs. Their proposal scores improved significantly. They qualified for higher value projects. They secured 2 long-term government contracts within a year. Certifications turned them into a Tier 1 bidder. Proposal strength, beyond the cover letter. When submitting a proposal, your team's certification credentials support your technical approach. Justify higher pricing, value-based. Reduce client concerns over delivery quality. Add weight to project methodology. Certifications provide hard evidence of your capability. Think of it like this. A project plan sounds good. A project plan backed by a PMP-certified manager sounds trustworthy. Pre-qualification documents and vendor approval. Most large organizations and public sector clients have pre-qualification or vendor approval stages. Typical requirements include CVS of key team members, list of organizational certifications, quality assurance protocols. If your team lacks required credentials, you might not pass pre-screening. You'll be stuck competing for low-tier work. Competitive differentiation, winning without dropping price. In many cases, buyers are willing to pay more to reduce perceived risk. A bid that includes PMP, NEBOSH, and ISO certified professionals. A certified QA/QC system. Ongoing training and recertification programs. Has the power to win deals without price cuts. That's what makes certification a margin protector, not just a cost center. Certifications and international bids. If you're bidding on cross-border projects, certifications are often the only common language. A French procurement officer may not know your UAE experience, but they'll recognize ISO 14001, Environmental Management. Prince 2, UK Origin Project Management. SHRM, Global HR. This enables your firm to compete globally, overcome bias toward local vendors, expand beyond regional markets, impact on joint ventures and consortiums. In large consortiums, each partner is vetted for technical capacity. Certifications are used to allocate responsibilities. If your firm lacks certifications, you may be given non-strategic work, or worse, excluded altogether. If you hold key certifications, you become a value-add partner. You gain leverage in revenue-sharing agreements. Sample language in RFPs. Let's look at actual phrasing found in RFP documents. Project manager must be PMP certified. All safety engineers must hold valid NEBOSH IGC certificates. ISO 9001 quality management systems are mandatory. Preference will be given to firms with ISO 27001 information security certification. This isn't optional, it's foundational. Business development teams love certified experts. Sales and BD teams need talking points. Certifications give them exactly that. Instead of vague statements like, "We have great safety standards," they say, "Our supervisors are NEBOSH certified, and we follow ISO for 5001 protocols." The shift from general to certified specific adds depth to your BD messaging. Marketing and reputation. Certifications are assets to display. Use them in tender presentations, capability statements, trade show materials, corporate videos. This signals to the market that you care about excellence. Invest in your people. Follow best practices. Sustainability and ESG alignment. With ESG, environmental, social, governance, now driving global procurement, certification support your case. Examples: ISO 14001 for environmental responsibility. CSR certifications for social accountability. ISO 26000 for ethical operations. When ESG compliance is part of the RFP, certification makes your claims credible. Conclusion: from bidder to preferred partner. In today's market, bidding is not about being the cheapest. It's about being the most trusted. Certifications qualify you faster. Differentiate your bid. Justify premium pricing. Win larger, longer-term contracts. In the high-stakes game of business development, certified teams are your strategic edge. Because in the proposal room, the company with certified professionals isn't just bidding, they're winning. 11. The long-term ROI of building a certified organization. When organizations think about return on investment, ROI, the conversation typically centers on financial gains. But when it comes to certification, the ROI stretches far beyond revenue. It includes risk reduction, client retention, operational efficiency, employee loyalty, competitive advantage, and long-term sustainability. Building a certified organization isn't a one-off training initiative, it's a strategic transformation that elevates your brand, workforce, and bottom line. In this section, we'll break down the long-term ROI of certification across multiple dimensions: financial, operational, cultural, and strategic. 1. Financial ROI, what the numbers say. Let's start with the numbers. Investing in certification yields quantifiable benefits. Higher revenue per client, premium pricing justification. Shorter sales cycles, credibility accelerates decision-making. Lower insurance costs, certified safety teams equals reduced liability. Fewer rework costs, certified QA/QC professionals reduce error rates. Example: PMP certified project managers reduce scope creep and delay, which saves companies thousands per project. ISO 9001 implementation improves process consistency, which cuts rework by up to 40% in some industries. 2. Cost avoidance, what you don't pay for. The ROI isn't just what you earn, it's what you avoid spending. Legal fees from compliance failures. Client loss due to poor service. Downtime from safety incidents. High turnover due to disengaged employees. A NEBOSH-trained supervisor, for instance, may prevent a safety violation that could have led to a $50,000 fine or a halted project. In essence, certification is your insurance policy against preventable losses. 3. Improved talent retention. Certified employees feel more valued, see a future within the company, are more likely to stay. Why? Because certification represents investment. When employers support employees in earning credentials, it sends a powerful message. We believe in your growth. According to LinkedIn's Workplace Learning Report, 94% of employees say they'd stay at a company longer if it invested in their professional development. 4. Internal promotions and leadership pipelines. When you build a certified workforce, you reduce dependency on external hires, promote faster from within, create leadership-ready talent pools. This reduces hiring costs and onboarding risks. Example: instead of hiring a new project manager at AED 25000 month, you promote a PMP certified team lead at AED 18000 month who already knows your systems. Savings and performance? That's real ROI. 5. Culture of continuous improvement. Certification fosters a culture where learning and growth are normalized. Staff update their knowledge regularly. They're open to feedback and audits. They embrace structured methodologies. This reduces resistance to change and accelerates transformation efforts. An ISO 9001 certified organization, for example, regularly reviews and improves its processes. That mindset seeps into the culture and benefits every department. 6. Cross-functional efficiency. Certified teams work better across departments. A PMP certified team lead speaks the same language as a SHRM certified HR partner and an ISO 27001 certified IT manager. Everyone understands frameworks, documentation, and decision gates. This alignment reduces miscommunication, silos, delays due to misunderstanding or role overlap. 7. Operational excellence. Certifications drive consistency. Example outcomes: ISO 9001, defined and repeatable QA processes. NEBOSH, standardized safety protocols. Lean Six Sigma, reduced waste and improved productivity. When your operations run on best practice standards, you waste less, deliver faster, improve KPIs across the board. 8. Brand strength and market positioning. Having a certified team signals professionalism. Clients perceive you as higher quality. Partners view you as credible. Competitors respect your structure. This enhances your market position. You're no longer the lowest cost provider, you're the value-driven brand with a certified, trustworthy workforce. 9. Long-term contract wins. Clients prefer long-term partners who are stable, can scale, follow compliance, maintain standards. A certified team supports all of these. Certifications help win 3 to 5 year agreements. Secure exclusive contracts. Enter vendor panels for multinational buyers. This means recurring revenue and strategic positioning. 10. Business valuation and exit strategy. If you ever seek investment, a merger, or acquisition, your certifications increase enterprise value. Show due diligence readiness. Reduce integration concerns for buyers. Private equity firms and strategic buyers look for businesses that are process-driven, compliant, and scalable. Certifications help tick all 3 boxes. 11. Crisis readiness. Certified organizations handle crises better. During COVID-19, for example, ISO-certified companies adapted quickly to remote workflows. NEBOSH-trained teams responded faster to on-site health risks. Certifications build resilience, not just routines. 12. Data to support your claims. Certification allows you to track learning and development data, prove compliance in audits, quantify staff capabilities. This data becomes useful in strategic planning, performance reviews, pitching new clients. 13. Building a legacy culture. When certification becomes embedded, it's passed from one generation to the next. It outlasts management turnover. It becomes part of your DNA. This institutional knowledge is what makes companies great, not just good. Final thought, the ROI is cumulative. Each certification adds a layer of strength. Individually, it's an achievement. Organizationally, it's a foundation. The more certifications you embed, the more agile your workforce becomes. The better you respond to change. The higher your organization's long-term performance. Certification isn't a one-time boost. It's a long-term multiplier. And the companies who understand that lead their industries. 12. Certification as a talent retention strategy. While most conversations around certification focus on hiring and skill validation, a powerful and often underestimated impact of certification lies in employee retention. In a labor market marked by mobility, poaching, burnout, and disengagement, certification programs can become a company's best tool to retain top talent and build a loyal, future-ready workforce. This section will explore how certification boosts morale, reinforces career pathways, cultivates company loyalty, and becomes an integral part of a sustainable talent strategy. 1. Why people leave, and how certification counters it. Employees typically leave because of lack of growth, feeling undervalued, poor leadership, unclear career paths. Certification tackles each one directly. It gives employees a clear growth opportunity. It shows investment from the employer. It builds confidence in internal mobility. 2. Certification signal long-term vision. When an employer funds or supports certification, it sends a message. We don't just want you to perform. We want you to evolve. Employees who receive that message stay longer, perform better, take ownership of their role. According to the Work Institute's 2023 retention report, career development is the #1 reason people voluntarily leave jobs. Certification solves that at the root. 3. Creating career pathways. Let's say your company maps out certification-linked promotion paths. Admin Assistant HR Specialist via SHRMCP. Technician Supervisor via NEBOSH or OSHA. Coordinator Project Manager via PMP. Now your team sees a ladder. Instead of jumping companies, they climb internally. 4. Boosting engagement and morale. When employees are preparing for certification, they're more engaged. They collaborate to study. They develop a sense of pride. Passing the exam becomes a shared milestone. Recognition, through internal announcements, certificates on office walls, or team celebrations, turns that milestone into a morale booster. 5. Reducing burnout through purpose. Burnout often stems from routine, stagnation, or lack of challenge. Certification offers renewed purpose. New material to master. Real-world application of theory. A target to work toward. This gives employees a reason to stretch without overwork, and they return to the job recharged. 6. Making employees stickier. In talent strategy, stickiness refers to how likely someone is to stay. Certified employees are more likely to see a future at your company, feel embedded in the company's culture, turn down outside offers. Why? Because they've invested time and effort into their role, and you've reciprocated. 7. Reducing external offers appeal. Let's say a competitor offers your certified employee a slightly higher salary. But that competitor doesn't support ongoing education, lacks structured learning programs, offers no defined next step. Your employee compares both environments. If you've created a certification-backed culture of growth, chances are they stay. 8. Loyalty through shared accomplishment. When an employee earns a certification, they don't just feel successful, they feel seen. Recognition from leadership builds loyalty. Even better, if their certification helps the company win a contract, they see their impact firsthand. That's when loyalty becomes intrinsic. 9. Knowledge retention. Turnover hurts institutional memory. Certification ensures that process knowledge, compliance understanding, and technical skill sets don't walk out the door every time someone leaves. When staff are certified, knowledge is standardized. Training is easier. Retention is higher. This builds a resilient knowledge base. 10. Internal mentorship and growth culture. Certified staff often mentor junior employees, train new hires, share notes and best practices. This creates an ecosystem of learning where the entire team grows together. Such environments are harder to leave because they're rare. 11. Employer branding, becoming a learning organization. When your company supports certification, word spreads. Candidates are drawn to your culture. You attract learners, not just job seekers. In LinkedIn job posts, phrases like training support and certification sponsorship double application rates. Retention starts before hiring. 12. Generational appeal. Millennials and Gen Z, now over 60% of the workforce, prioritize learning and development, purpose-driven roles, career acceleration. Certification is their language of trust. Support them, and they'll return the favor with loyalty. 13. Case study, certified workforce equals stable workforce. A mid-sized logistics firm in the UAE experienced 25% turnover in their warehouse and admin staff. They introduced a tiered certification program. First aid and fire safety for all staff. Logistics training for handlers. PMP and ISO workshops for leads. Within 18 months, turnover dropped by 40%. Internal promotion rates doubled. Customer satisfaction scores improved. Certifications weren't just training, they were retention engines. 14. Creating emotional buy-in. When people feel you've invested in their future, they feel motivated, respected, obligated in a healthy way. They see the company's goals as their own goals. That's the ultimate retention driver. 15. The manager's role in retention through certification. Managers who recommend certification paths, offer support and encouragement, celebrate wins, build deeper bonds with their teams. Managers without that engagement see higher attrition, miss out on their team's full potential. Great managers make certification a conversation, not a requirement. Final thought, the best stay where they grow. Employees don't leave jobs. They leave stagnation. Certification is more than proof of skill. It's proof of care. And in a competitive market, care leads to retention. Smart organizations don't just hire well. They develop intentionally. Because every certification earned is a reason to stay. And every stay multiplies your success. 13. Building a certification culture in your organization. A certified team is powerful. But a certification culture? That's transformative. A culture of certification goes beyond enrolling a few employees in training. It embeds learning, credentialing, and recognition into the DNA of the company. It shifts the organization from reactive to proactive, from skill gaps to skill strategies, and from dependency on outside hires to internal capability building. This section explores how to build, scale, and sustain a strong certification culture that drives growth, resilience, and innovation. 1. Define what certification means to your business. Begin by aligning your leadership team around a central question. What do we want certification to solve? It could be compliance, quality, leadership development, risk reduction, career growth. Defining the purpose ensures buy-in at every level. 2. Conduct a skills and certification audit. Assess the current state. Who is already certified? What roles lack required credentials? Which certifications would improve team performance? Map the gaps. Then prioritize certifications based on urgency, e.g., regulatory compliance. Impact, e.g., revenue-driving roles. Strategic value, e.g., future market needs. 3. Involve managers in the conversation. Managers are closest to performance gaps. Ask them, where do we see recurring mistakes? Where are we dependent on specific individuals? What skills could make your team stronger? Turn these insights into a certification plan by department. 4. Create internal learning paths. Certification shouldn't feel random. Create visible learning ladders. Entry-level, intermediate, expert. Tie promotions to progress. Integrate learning into performance reviews. Example: Admin Coordinator Officer Manager. With SHRM, PMP, or ISO credentials tied to each level. 5. Provide budget and support. Culture follows investment. Offer partial or full sponsorships. Paid study hours or leave. Access to mock exams or e-learning platforms. And assign learning champions to check in and support progress. 6. Recognize certified staff publicly. People work harder for what gets recognized. When someone earns a certification, announce it in team meetings. Share it in newsletters or internal groups. Celebrate it with small rewards or bonuses. This shifts perception from extra work to earned honor. 7. Build peer learning communities. Certified staff often want to help others. Create study groups, peer mentoring sessions, lunch and learn sessions. This turns your certified staff into multipliers. They become knowledge hubs, raising everyone's game. 8. Align certification with business goals. Every certification path should link to an outcome. For example, customer satisfaction targets train in service excellence. Reduced safety incidents NEBOSH, OSHA. Faster project delivery PMP, Agile. Make sure each credential supports a KPI. 9. Track progress and results. What gets measured improves. Create a dashboard with number of certified employees, departments with highest/lowest participation, impact metrics, revenue, efficiency, client feedback. Review quarterly. Adjust strategies. Certification is not a one-off project, it's a living system. 10. Include certification in onboarding. Let new hires know from day one. We're a certification-focused organization. Provide them a training roadmap. Role relevant credentials to pursue. Expected timelines and support options. This builds commitment early and attracts growth-minded talent. 11. Build certification into promotion criteria. Want to reduce favoritism? Link promotions to role mastery, team contribution, completion of required certifications. This builds fairness, transparency, and a culture of effort. 12. Collaborate with external providers. Don't build everything from scratch. Partner with certification bodies, PMI, SHRM, ISO, NEBOSH. Training centers like QuadraPlus. E-learning platforms, Coursera, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning. Negotiate volume discounts and dedicated training schedules. 13. Align HR, L&D, and business leaders. No culture survives in silos. HR should track skill development, support policy and funding. L&D should deliver the programs, measure training outcomes. Managers should encourage participation, tie skills to team performance. It's a shared mission. 14. Create a certification playbook. Document the process. What certifications are relevant per role? How to apply for support. What recognition looks like. What timelines are expected. Make this digital, accessible, and always updated. 15. Celebrate a certification milestone day. Once a year, recognize all certified staff. Host a recognition ceremony. Share success stories. Give spot awards. It cements the value of certification in your culture. Final thought, culture outlives policy. You can build policies in 30 days. But a culture takes consistent effort. When your employees start to brag about their certification journey, mentor others toward passing, take pride in new credentials, you've built something enduring. Because in a certification culture, learning isn't optional. It's identity. And organizations with identity? They win. 14. Designing a company-wide certification roadmap. To unlock the full potential of certification, businesses must go beyond encouraging individual learning and instead build a systematic, organization-wide certification roadmap. This roadmap serves as the blueprint to align company goals with employee development, ensure long-term impact, and build scalability into the training process. In this final section, we will walk through how to architect, execute, and evolve a complete certification roadmap tailored to your business. 1. Start with strategic business objectives. Before choosing any certification, ask: what are our top 3 to 5 business priorities for the next 2 to 5 years? Common objectives include expansion into new markets, winning high-value tenders, reducing legal or safety risk, improving operational efficiency, building internal leadership. Use these to reverse engineer what certifications align with these goals. 2. Identify role families and functions. Break down your workforce into functional clusters, such as administrative, operational, compliance, technical, sales and marketing, leadership. This makes it easier to map certifications relevant to each group. For example, Operations Lean Six Sigma, ISO 9001. Safety NEBOSH, OSHA. HR SHRMCP, SIPT. Leadership PMP, Mini MBA, Executive Coaching. 3. Map certification tiers by level. Certification should scale with responsibility. Entry level. Basic awareness and compliance training. E.g., first aid, fire safety, customer service essentials. Mid-level. Role-specific certifications. E.g., PMP, ISO Lead Auditor, Digital Marketing Specialist. Senior level. Strategic, leadership, or multidisciplinary credentials. E.g., Mini MBA, Strategic HRM, Change Management. This avoids overloading new staff and under-preparing senior leaders. 4. Assess readiness and learning capacity. Not all teams are ready to pursue certifications immediately. Evaluate current skill levels, staff workloads, managerial support, language and tech proficiency for international exams. Use this data to phase rollout realistically. 5. Build a 12 to 24-month certification calendar. Structure your roadmap like a product release cycle. Q1, Compliance, NEBOSH, OSHA. Q2, Operations and Logistics, Lean Six Sigma. Q3, Leadership, PMP, SHRM. Q4, Strategic Electives, ISO, Mini MBA. Tie each quarter's focus to company targets, e.g., audit season, expansion goals. 6. Offer flexible certification formats. Employees learn differently. Provide options. In-person workshops. Online learning, self-paced. Hybrid boot camps. Internal coaching programs. Use partners like Quadra+ for structured programs and supplement with platforms like Coursera or Udemy. 7. Track certification progress with metrics. Embed tracking into HR dashboards. Percent of workforce certified. Certifications by function. Training ROI, e.g., promotions, retention, project wins. Pass-fail rates. Metrics turn your roadmap into a living strategy. 8. Align certification milestones with performance reviews. Make certification part of career conversations. During reviews, set goals tied to certification. Provide feedback on learning progress. Offer rewards for completion. This builds continuous alignment between growth and recognition. 9. Establish governance and accountability. A successful roadmap needs ownership. Define roles. HR, policy and funding. L&D, content, delivery, measurement. Line managers, encouragement, real-world application. Set up quarterly certification review committees to maintain momentum. 10. Budget annually, not ad hoc. Treat certification as part of your annual planning. Allocate per department. Anticipate recertification costs. Include exam fees, prep time, learning platforms. Avoid surprise costs by treating certification as strategic infrastructure. 11. Build internal career maps around certification. Certification isn't just external. Use it to define internal job levels. Create promotion pathways. Justify cross-functional moves. For example, want to move from HR to learning and development? Get certified in instructional design. Internal growth reduces attrition and increases agility. 12. Launch with a company-wide campaign. Don't roll it out quietly. Host a launch event. Present the roadmap vision. Share the first-year calendar. Hear from certified staff about their experience. Make it feel like a movement, not a mandate. 13. Collect feedback and iterate. After each phase, survey participants. Debrief with managers. Review pass rates and application. Use this input to improve content delivery, exam prep, and pacing. A roadmap is never static, it evolves with your team. 14. Celebrate milestones publicly. Create visible success points. Certification walls of fame. Annual graduation ceremonies. Video testimonials. Social proof fuels momentum. Make heroes out of learners. 15. Re-evaluate annually based on business needs. End each year by asking, did we certify in the right areas? What challenges remain? What do we need for the next 12 months? Adjust your roadmap to match market, client, and internal shifts. Final thought: roadmaps build movements. Training can be ad hoc. Certification can be isolated. But a roadmap creates a movement. It unifies teams. It makes development predictable. It turns talent into a business advantage. With a clear roadmap, employees know where they're headed. And companies? They stop playing catch-up. They lead. Because in the future of work, those who grow intentionally win exponentially. Episode 3 Summary. Why employers need certified teams. In this episode, we explored how certification isn't just beneficial for individuals, it's a game-changing asset for organizations. We covered 1. The strategic case: certification reduces risk, builds credibility, and aligns staff with industry best practices. 2. Operational impact: certified employees contribute to safer work sites, faster audits, fewer errors, and improved quality systems. 3. Financial benefits: from reduced insurance premiums to increased bid success, certification offers measurable ROI. 4. Workforce development: companies with certification roadmaps retain talent better, grow leaders internally, and stay competitive. 5. Cultural shift: building a certification culture inspires learning, fuels recognition, and aligns employee growth with business goals. 6. Execution framework: we closed by detailing how to build a company-wide certification roadmap that scales with strategy, supports all departments, and evolves year after year. The takeaway? Certified teams aren't just better trained, they're better aligned, more resilient, and more profitable. See you next time in episode 4.